Guten Tag, podcast listener. This episode of JJ Meets World has not been translated into German. So if you're looking for a German translation, I'm sorry, it just didn't happen. But what you will find is some really classy stuff, including a country club conversation and how Tucker goes to the bathroom. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of JJ Meets World. Bitte. And by the way, if you'd like to help support our podcast, visit jjmeetsworld.com where you can donate to our Patreon, pick up some killer swag at our merch shop, or click the link to Apple Podcast and give us a 5-star review.
1, 2, 3, 4. JJ Gordon, sort of like that Indiana Jones, in that he's always sniffing out his next adventure. Yes, he is. He's always interviewing guests so he can have them on his show and they can talk about pop culture, arts, and leisure. JJ has his flag unfurled and he likes his french fries curled, and he's fun and then he twirled as he goes to meet the world. He will march into the rain even if his ankle sprained. Take a peek inside his brain. This podcast is called JJ Meets World.
Tucker, I thought I would start out today by talking about things that are classy, in my opinion, and then laws that I think that you should follow and laws that I think you should not follow. Are you ready?
Do I have a sound? I have sound.
Yeah, you got sound.
I have sound.
Now I got. Do you want me? Are you gonna cut that, or you want me to start over?
No.
Okay.
No, keep going.
I knew you were gonna work.
We've been leaving
buttons
more of that stuff behind in the cuts because it's more
to be
interesting.
more realistic, so that people know it's not AI.
That's why.
Yeah.
You know, there's a guy. Do you ever watch Ryan Hall, y'all, on YouTube? It's a weather YouTube.
Okay.
This guy's awesome though. He it's basically like I think it's the best source of like incoming weather news you can find anywhere. He's got a whole network of people like all over the country that like send it. Anyways, he had a problem with AI, people using AI to fake him in other YouTube channels, or for like they would say we're going to go live today at 1, then they would start fake YouTube streams with like an AI version of him. So what he had to start doing is he had to start this like authentication process with his audience, basically, where he lets them know via email like half hour before, I'm going to go live and I'll be eating an apple. He always has some kind of fruit with him at the very beginning, and he'll be like, I'm going to take a bite of a banana. And so when you watch it, if he takes a bite of a banana, this is the real Ryan Hall. We're tuned into the real one.
Mm-hmm. I like that idea. It's sort of like back in the day when your parents had a password that if someone else was going to pick you up from school or an event, they needed to say pumpkin.
Mickey Mouse was ours.
Mickey Mouse. And
the only time I ever tried to deploy it was when my aunt was picking me up. And no one had told me she was picking me up. And I was just walking home from school, and Aunt Mary Jo like pulled up. She goes, "Hey Tucker, your mom told me to come get you. We got to go to Grandma and Grandpa's house." And I was like, What's the word?" And she's like, "What word?" I'm like, whatever. And
you got a great van, Mary
I let
Jo.
Aunt Mary Jo kidnap me, and then she didn't kidnap me. My mom literally just needed her to come
nice.
get me.
We never had a password, and
Your parents didn't give a fuck.
They did, well, they were just, I think that they were always like, "Don't worry, you'll get your way home."
Right,
you're
JJ,
very resourceful,
JJ. If you're ever just so weak that someone comes and kidnaps you, just say Coors Light.
Just poop yourself.
What was your dad's beer?
It was a Miller Genuine Draft.
MGD.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That was it. And so that'd be the thing. If someone said like, "Hey, your dad had too many Coors Lights," I'd be like, "Oh, stranger."
like in Terminator 2.
Yeah.
How's Wolfie?
So I had to get picked up once specifically, I remember. So I was in 7th grade, and the carpool, parked a block away from the school so they could avoid the traffic of Agassiz Middle School. And so I walked the block, and there's the carpool car, and then there's another car. And a guy gets out of the car and goes, "JJ, you got to come with me." And I was like, "Your name's Dean. You work for my dad. Why are you asking for me?" And then he said, "Your mom put her van on top of a boulder at the clinic, and I need to take you to the clinic." And in my mind, I'm like, "Yep, that checks out." And so there was a landscaping boulder next to the clinic that we went to on in our town. And my mom wasn't paying attention when she was driving out. And these are the days before even cell phones. So what the hell was she doing? But she drove over the boulder and got stuck on it. And the car was kind of like teetering. And so my dad had to get 3 guys who worked for him at the plant to go and like lift up the back of her car so that they could get it off. Now, she also ran over like part of like a pine tree. So as she's like revving back and forth, it's getting really hot in the undercarriage of the engine, which is heating up this pine tree. So it smelled like Christmas. It was delightful. And
were you also like, but if this goes south, I can take Dean.
No.
Dean would have kicked your ass.
Dean was a skydiver.
Ugh.
Yeah, exactly. So
no fear.
He had no fear whatsoever.
Which means he'll probably molest you.
But maybe this meant that there was a great opportunity for me to like live a more adventurous life. Maybe that's what he needed was maybe he's Baloo and I'm going to be Kit Cloud Kicker and I'm going to be able to surf behind the sea duck. You never know. I watched Disney do something that I consider to be...
JJ, get in my car. We'll go watch TailSpin.
Yeah, I'd love that.
Your mom and dad want me to take you to a hotel and watch TailSpin.
Yay! Does it have a pool? It's got a big bathtub.
Have you seen that PSA that's made the rounds on Reddit? It's an actual PSA from back in the day about how, like, stranger danger, how you shouldn't talk to strangers.
Yeah, I took all of those pretty seriously.
One of the scenarios was this like super hot mom holding a Game Boy, and she's like, "Hey, listen, my Game Boy's not working. I think I gotta go put batteries in it. Do you want to help me? I think the batteries are in my car." And like the commentary is like, Game Boy mom would have had me in 1 second. And like I would have been kidnapped so hard by that lady, but that situation has never fucking happened.
Do you know something like, so as I got older, one of the things that I found to be terrifying was that like the statistic at the time was most abductions are from someone you know. Right. So it's parents who had a bad divorce and the dad takes the kid. Right. Or something like, or a grandparent even. And that is the thing that scared me the most. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. One of my trusted adults might be the person who could kidnap me.
But then sometimes it's just the parent of a kid that you're teaching out in Rutland. And you said something about how your friend needed to go find a new car because their car died. And then they end up kidnapping you and drunk driving at the same time for almost 4 hours.
Yeah, that was quite the night for us. Then there was a night where at one point Jared's girlfriend came down and she wanted to go to the grocery store, but the grocery store was like 3 towns over. And so one of the kids was like, I know where the grocery store is. So he got into her car and she took him. And I was like, you can't take a kid 3 towns over. Like, you can't. That is not allowed. And she's like, it was no big deal. And then I got him, like, a candy bar for helping me. And I'm like, oh, this makes it so much worse, Nikki. In fact, I ran into her not too long ago, and I asked her, I was like, hey, do you remember this? She goes, yeah. I'm like, now that you have kids. She's like, oh, yeah, no, 100%. No way. Not going to happen. Things that are classy. Cashew nuts. Cashew nuts are classy.
Agreed.
And Costco at one point sold a glass jar with a black label gold lettering of cashews. And I proudly display it in my kitchen. We don't eat any of them because it's for display only to show how classy we are. I feel like if I was in a tuxedo, that would be my snack of choice.
Cashew's my top nut.
It is. It's a great nut.
It
right?
is top nut. Like, I don't, like, what is the argument for one that's better?
Our friend Jenny recently told us that her husband calls it the shrimp of the nut world.
He is right.
He is right. Not only is it shaped a little bit like a shrimp, but also like, you know how like if you're at a buffet and there's like shrimp, you're like, oh my God, this place is classy.
They both are kings in their domain when it comes to that first bite.
Yeah.
Because that crunch, that pop of flavor, you know, they're salty and you can kind of eat a lot or a little. You know, but you're going to eat a lot. I mean, come on.
Dude, it's great. And like you go to a thing of mixed nuts and you kind of like wade through it and you're like, almond, no. Cashew, yeah. I hit the ground running. Salted peanut, what are you doing in here?
Yeah, it's the filler. I mean, it's fine. You know, it's welcome.
There are certain nuts that I don't know what they are. Like, I'm sure a walnut is a good nut. I'm sure that like
it's okay.
Like when you crack open, like when you use your nut cracker to get a nut out, that must be nice, but the cashew is just the king of nuts.
My memory is that walnuts are pretty bland.
Really?
That they don't have a lot of salt.
Well, because most people like walnuts, you're not salting in advance, and walnuts I think lean themselves towards more sweet.
Okay.
You know, like sweet things.
Yeah.
So
my number 2 would be pistachio.
Yeah.
I would go from
From cashew?
Cashew. I lost the word there for a second.
pistachio.
To pistachio. Those would be my top two. My third is I'm a basic bitch, but it'd be peanuts in the shell.
Yeah.
Salted peanuts in the shell. You put down
For best nut, not classiest nut.
not for classiest. I mean, well, I think classiest and best goes to cashew.
I think it's funny that they tried to make the peanut a classy nut by adding a monocle and a top hat and be like, dude, you are Mr. Peanut is like he's the gentleman hobo of mascots.
Peanut. It's like, what are we at a baseball game? You know, pistachios are classy. Pistachios in the shell are classy.
See, I disagree. You want to know why I disagree?
I'd love to know why.
Because then you've got the shell, and you got to do something with the shell.
It's the classy
And unless
version.
you have
It's the only shelled classy
a
one.
butler with a white glove holding a crystal dish to collect the shells, then you don't have anything.
Each little nut is like a little present, though, inside of a difficult shell. Like, they can be pretty tough sometimes. Sometimes you got to use like a wedge.
Such as?
Oh, like
Like your car
a
keys?
paper clip, your car keys.
Okay.
A penny.
Okay. Go to hell that it's a classy
Fine,
nut.
I'll
that,
use my-
that you're like, listen. You're at a fancy dinner party and you're like, let me pull out the paper clip I keep with me in case I need to wedge open my nuts. And someone says he's certainly not getting into the country club. And they will kick you out if you're too low brass.
That's true.
Like, that's why I don't think that Rodney Dangerfield was going to get into the Bushwood Country Club.
So, I mean, is the whole point of those things is just there is a status to being in there versus out of there?
Yeah, I mean, it's exclusivity.
I mean, is the food really that good? Is the company really that great?
I've been to some really great country clubs, and I've been to some not so great. I mean, some of them, by its nature, is just it's a membership-based
Right,
place.
you have to pay money to be able to go there.
I've been to country clubs that cost like $100 a year.
Okay.
And then, they're like, oh, you got to spend $50 a month.
It's like having a Sam's Club card.
Yes, basically. But then there are some where that is the whole point is exclusivity, right? So you can't get in and they specialize in different things. Like sailing clubs are the same thing. So there's, like a yacht club would be the same as a country club.
Let's talk about the country clubs available to us in town here. So are they all merely membership paid to get in, or is it like are they organizational exclusive? Like you have to be invited to be able to join the Moorhead Country Club.
I don't believe either of them are anymore. I think at a time maybe the Fargo Country Club needed you needed a host.
Are you a member of any of these?
No, we used to be a member of the Fargo Country Club. I spent a lot of summers swimming in that pool. It was great.
I'm gonna look up the pricing right now.
But like the Moorhead Country Club, I don't know. I know someone who's a member of both, and his big problem is that the Fargo Country Club requires you to spend X number of dollars in the restaurant or the snack shack every single month.
Okay.
And if you don't, they just charge you whatever's left, and then you don't get anything for it.
Okay.
So let's say that number is $200 a month, right? So what they're saying is we'd like you to dine with us at least 2 times a month, maybe more. And I've had him call me and say, like, hey, do you want to come and we'll have lunch, and then we'll swim, and then we'll have dinner. And I'm like, okay, let's do it.
So there's a couple different kinds of membership, but individuals over the age of 35 are allowed to get a certificate membership, which currently has a wait list for the Fargo Country Club.
Oh, yeah, there you go. See?
This membership also includes access to, and I'm going to say something that I don't understand, trune privé privileges.
I don't know. Is that something that is expensive?
The words are bold.
Okay.
But it's not giving any like pricing information out here. Like
I'm guessing they don't make it widely available on
like
the
a
internet.
Dave & Buster's.
This is something about high society. High society doesn't want to like advertise what prices are because that would be gauche. That would be too crass to have like their menu on the website of like how much you'd pay for a year because
all the plebes can see it.
Right. Well, because another thing too is like you can have like corporate memberships, I think now, right? And then like sometimes businesses pay for a membership. So
really, if I was say needing to host a lot of business meetings and I wanted to have like a routine place that I knew was dependable, would I be able to invite non-members to have
Yes.
to dine with me
Yes.
and discuss business?
Here's an example. I've been to and performed at many Christmas parties and fundraising events at the country club, not being a member, and the bulk of the people there not being members. I think you just need to have one person who's a member who essentially is the host for that night.
If you are a member of a country club, are you required to laugh like
Delightful. Yes, and you also have to know how to tie a sweater around your shoulders.
shit?
Yeah.
0 for 2 on this one.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't worry, I can teach you. So let me talk about something else that I find to be super classy. Soap that's not intended to be used. So when you walk into someone's bathroom and they have like a fancy soap dish with, soaps that are pressed into shapes or something like that, and you're not clearly supposed to use those soaps because there's another, maybe there's a bottle with like a pump on it or something. Like you're meant to use the liquid soap, but this is decorative. So a decorative soap I find to be very, very classy.
You're not supposed to use those.
Well, I mean, I think it depends on the house, but I think most of the time it's just decorative. Like, for example, if they have a seashell and inside of it they have nautical themed soaps, you are definitely not supposed to use those soaps. You're not supposed to use them. Yeah. Are you using those soaps?
I'm just trying to think of all the people I've been offending over the last 41 years.
And they're like, who the fuck used our good soap?
Yeah, in the bathroom, at the sink.
What did he piss all over his hands? Why do you have to go for this? Did he not know how to run water?
Is the point to admire the soap? To look at it and go, what a beautiful soap.
Yeah. That's the point. Just like sometimes there are towels that are clearly not meant to actually be used as towels.
Okay.
They're meant to be decorative.
Wait, hold on.
Uh-huh.
So you're saying I'm going to walk into a bathroom and I've urinated and pooped in the toilet.
At someone's house?
At someone's house.
You're doing both?
And then I go and I get my hands wet and I want to put soap on them. I should not use the provided soap that's on the tray. Correct. I should look for some other source of soap.
Yes.
And once I've done that, I shouldn't use the towels they've hung up in the bathroom. I should use other towels they've hung up in the bathroom.
You should
I'm supposed to know which ones
if there is
are
a towel,
which.
If there is a towel on the counter, that is the one that they're intending you to use, whether or not there's towels hanging or not.
So it's like a used towel. They're like, use this one that people have been using all day.
Even if they're hanging, other people are using those too.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
No, because the germs fall
off. Are you saying that you wipe your hands, you take that towel, you go find the hostess and be like, this towel is now soiled, so would you please take it and put it in your laundry?
No, I crumple it and I throw it on the ground. That's what you're supposed to do, right?
So you're telling me, because for everyone there, you can't see this, but Tucker is indicating that what he's done is flush the toilet and then now use the clean, in quotations, toilet water to wash his hands off. That's what you're showing me. That's what because you did the flush move, and now you're bending over and putting your hands into there. And then you did this thing where you like whipped your hands to get the water off it, so you're putting water droplets all over this person's bathroom.
I think we just found out why your second bathroom doesn't work.
At the end,
you've been doing this kind of thing.
At the end of it, you are only using the towel that's hanging, even if there's a nice one laid out, because you're worried that one that's laid out may have been used by another human being.
One correction.
Yeah.
I'm not using toilet water to wash my hands. I'm using sink water. Sometimes I run the shower.
What's the difference?
Sometimes I run the shower just to steam the room.
Just to get the scent.
Well, to get my pores opened up in my hands, because that really releases the germs in the bathroom. So what I do I'll just walk you through my process, which I've done at your house a number of times. I'm surprised you've never said anything.
Well, because
I walk into the bathroom.
I don't review the tape
unannounced.
Afterwards.
I walk into the bathroom.
Okay.
I slam the door shut, which is how I announce that I'm using your bathroom right now. I turn on every light and blower I can find to hopefully cover the sound of me screaming as I just annihilate the toilet with a massive number 2, followed by a pretty impressive number 1.
A 1.4.
So once that's all done, I use the toilet paper provided and I wipe my ass and drop it in the toilet, and I flush. Okay. So then usually the sink is like right next to it or across from it or nearby.
Oh, okay.
It's like 1 or 2 steps away. I go to the sink and I get a stream of ice cold H2O coming out of there, and I douse the undersides of my hands and then the top side of my hands, and I kind of go back and forth to make sure I got a nice coverage. Okay. Then I reach into the shower and I turn on the hot water. And I run the hot shower for about 10 minutes, get a nice steam built in while I'm getting my hands soaked. You want your hands to soak until they're wrinkly, and the steam opens the pores, which drops most of the dirt. People don't know that it's actually mostly connected there. Then I reach for the bar of soap that's shaped like the Little Mermaid, and I coat just the undersides of my hands. I don't do it to the top sides of my hands because no dirt really got there, and I don't want to dry them out. And I get a nice thorough slime. I call it a slime of soap from the Mermaid on my hands. Then I take those hands and I put them into the shower, and I let the hot steaming water, which is now getting kind of cold because I've been running it for a while, so I've used up most of your hot water at this point, get it off that way, turn off the shower. Sink is still running because I want the pipes to clear out. Then I turn to whatever towels are available, and if a towel has been provided, I use it. And if not, I just take my hands and put it on either side of the toilet paper roll and just squeeze it until all of the liquid gets off my hands and into the toilet paper roll, at least on the bottom sides of my hands. Then I flick the top sides of my hands onto the ceiling, and then I leave the sink running until someone in the house shuts it off.
So here's what makes me the most angry is that was my kitchen. That's going to wrap it up for today's show. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to help us continue to produce new episodes each week, visit jjmeetsworld.com, where you can donate to our Patreon, pick up some swag at the merch shop, or follow our link to Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star review. You can also follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all the sites the cool kids are using these days. JJ Meets World is produced every week by Tucker Lucas. You can find out more about Tucker's work by visiting moonbasemaria.com. If you want to get in touch with your host with the most, check out linebenders.com, where you can find direct contact info for JJ or booking information. What's funny is his love of nuts is what leads to his bathroom issues.